Well, I don't know if anybody's out there listening or looking or whatever the case may be. We are preparing to be significant again. Yes, yes, we are preparing to be significant again. I've been trying to figure this software out here for a couple of weeks now, and finally tonight, as I delve into the apparatus, I figured out how to get it all working. So I'm gonna take my arm and break it by patting myself on the back because I got it done. Although I will admit to you that it took some time to get it done, and it's too late in the afternoon to do this anyway. But however, I thought I would see was there anybody up and we can talk about the news or whatever the case may be, whatever you guys want to talk about. I know it's late, and so we're probably not going to be talking to anybody, but starting Wednesday, I plan to come on at a regular time, such as probably around, I don't know, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, somewhere around that time, and get some guests on via the phone or via the phone or via the video thing there, So we're gonna. I plan to have a good time with this thing. See, I'm not all stressed out now. I ticked off some black preachers. I mean, that's just what it was. It was what it was. I ticked off some black preachers who didn't like Trump, and so therefore they didn't like me because I like Trump. So you know how that works. That'll work. Although Trump's not my favorite pair all the time, but for the most part, he's an interesting man. That's all I can say. Um, but somebody told black folks that they have to all think the same. I mean, I don't ever remember Martin Luther King saying that we all have to look the same. We all got to think the same. But black preachers in this town seem to think that. That I mean, in the morning, in the afternoon, they be talking about how bad Trump was. And I'm saying, well, it's not all that bad. I mean, that's what I be saying. But someone, here's what I have figured out, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what I have figured out. The reason why this whole thing about race and about DEI and about the wrongs that have been done to other people by other people is because the one thing that hard times gives us is a way to figure things out. It and you become significant if you happen to be the one that figures out the answers. For a little while, not very long, for a little while, you're significant. And in the South, and I don't know why it is latched on to the South forever. Because when and just for the record, um, one of the biggest places of slaves and things of that nature used to be in New York City. A place I think it's called a place called Hampton. Um, so here's my question, and I'll let you. I'm not going to be here long. Just going to. I'm trying to make sure that the sound work. I'm looking for a commo check here, so somebody can call that number and see if my phone actually works here. I'd appreciate it because I'm not sure if it does or not. So I just thought I'd just come on and say hi to you guys today. But as you slumber through the night, and as you think about our lives, as we think about our lives, how do we get better? How do we get better as neighbors? How do we get better as citizens of Montgomery? And how do we finally figure out how to get it right? I have been here since 1991 for 34 years. And we are having the same conversations now that we had then. And we are better educated. Our schools haven't gotten much better, but the education, I think part of it, access to education has become phenomenal. Now, just because you go to school and you don't learn anything, well, that's on you. That's on you. That's not on society as a whole. That's on you. But it just seems to me that we need a way to get better as human beings, to get better as citizens, and the crutches of the past. Well, that's what we're using them as now. That's what we're using. I mean, every day in this town, somebody's getting shot or killed every day. And most of the time, it is young folks that are involved in this stuff. Now, we can't seem together as grown people, so I don't know how we expect them to get together as young people. We can't get together as old folks, you know. Um, Turned 68 last week, Wednesday, and I'm appreciative for it. I feel blessed for it. There are a lot of people that never make it as haven't made it as long as I have, uh, I'm feeling thankful for that. And so the question is, what do we do now? What do we do? What do we do? How do we get better? How do we get better? Because constantly bringing up the past, constantly, constantly, constantly. Well, it hasn't done anybody any good. Really, it hasn't done anybody any good. But you don't forget the past. So and I used to say forget the past. I was wrong. That was a big error. You don't forget the past. In 1959, there was 69 young men. I think they were in North Carolina somewhere. 69 young men that were in a reform school, and people. I think it was in Arkansas somewhere. You look it up, you find it, and they set the building on fire with young black males. 69 of them. I think like four of them made it out. The rest died. That's just one of the ugly, ugly things that have gone on in this country. And one of the things I want to do with this podcast is find people of different ethnicities and bring them on and tell us how they got along. How you got along? How did you make it? You know, and so I got a lot of things. I got a lot of things, planned. But the best was it Macbeth that said the best laid plans are mice and men. Well, okay. Somebody once said, "You want to make God get a good laugh? Tell him what you plan." So I won't say plan. I'll say there are a lot of things that I would like to do uh, with this thing. Um, the mayor has agreed to join me, and a lot of other people have too via this platform, and I appreciate their time and their and their impressions and their presentations and things of that nature. So tonight I was merely coming on to see whether or not anybody actually hears me. If I got this equipment set up the correct way, that's what I wanted to know. If it was set up the correct way. If it's not set up the correct way, then nobody would hear me. Matter of fact, I don't know if anybody can hear me now. Uh, hopefully somebody can hear me. I don't know. Can I get a commo check out there? If you're an army dog, you know what I'm talking about. Need a commo check. 521 2963 is our number. I think that's our number to call in. But we're going to see uh, how this all works out. You can always text me 241-9998 if you want to. If you're hearing me. Now, if you're not hearing me, then okay, can't do much about that. But we are going to do this thing. We're going to do it the best we can, and see how it all works out. But I want you to think about it. Well, somebody call me now. Let me know if y'all can hear me, because I don't know if anybody's hearing me or not. Or text me. What's my text number? 241-9998. But if you can't hear me, then you wouldn't be able to. Okay, you wouldn't be able to hear me anyway. Well, sorry about that, but I hope you can hear me anyway. Uh, let me see. Let me see. Did I just get a text in here? Okay. So can you guys hear me out there? That is the question I need to know, because for the last 3 days I've been working on my mixer, and so I need to know if you guys can hear us. We appreciate it. If you don't, then let me know that too. Of course, if you can't hear me, then you wouldn't be able to tell me that you could hear me. Okay. Okay. It always starts with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, hey, Victor, thanks. Um, Again, how do we get better? I mean, how do we get better as people? Our kids are killing each other. They're not only killing each other, they're killing us. Old school, OGs. How do we get better? I mean, it's not enough just to go to church. You have to go to church and then come out here and try to. None of us are perfect. We all got our idiosyncrasies. We all got our weaknesses. We all got our strengths. How do we get better? How do we get better? How do we make Montgomery a better place? The other day, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this, and then I'm gonna be gone. The other day, there was a meeting between the mayor of the city of Montgomery and some business owners who own significant businesses here in the city of Montgomery. Okay, here in the city of Montgomery, and you know what the complaints were? You know what their complaints are? Their complaints are the crime that infestates our city. And you know what they're talking about doing? Leaving, leaving, not because of color, but because of culture. And if they leave, if the business owners that were at this meeting with the mayor leaves, we'll be paying rent for Montgomery for the next 30 years because they can leave and we still going to do business with people even after they leave, but nobody will own anything in Montgomery. Montgomery, for the most part, will be for rent. Now, do we really want to come a insignificant city that calls itself the capital? And until we do something about the crime, and one of the things we knew we need to do about the crime is start holding people absolutely accountable for the things they do. For the things they do. But one of the things, and it's a hard conversation to have in our communities because we don't like having it. But the hard conversation is to say, you know what? We needed our fathers, our black fathers. None of us are perfect. I stepped on my crank more times than I even hate to tell you. But the one thing I've always known is my sons needed me close by. I think there ought to be a terrible price to pay to have a child and not take care of it. There ought to be a terrible price to pay, especially if it's a boy, because the most significant factor of whether or not your child ends up in jail or ends up in the graveyard is your paying attention to your child. And women, we love you. You guys, I'll say all the time, if it wasn't for my boys' moms, I don't know where they'd be. But my job was to be there to make sure that if they got crazy, knock them out. Okay. So mothers are needed too. But men, we are doing our women unfairly. We are making them be a mother, which they already know how to do, and act in place of a father. That's our fault. And it's not the women's fault. It's the man's fault. We have stepped on it for a long, 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 long time. And women, I think you need to raise your expectations up. I think you need to say, listen, if he can't keep his pants up, then you know he ain't gonna keep your kids' pants up. Okay. If he can't keep a job, how is he going to tell your child how to keep a job? How's he gonna do that? They're not gonna do that. So we have an awesome responsibility, men. We do. We got an awesome responsibility. And it ought not be taken lightly. It's a conversation that needs to be had. I got a friend of mine named T that I'm telling you, if most of you men went to the things that man went to take care of his children, y'all probably be committed suicide right now. But I got a friend. And so it is never too late to reach out and take that son by the hand and show them some love. Show them some love and they'll show you some. And the one thing, and I hope our courts get right at one point, is the bonding process is important because until you bond with your child, he's not yours. Oh, you may have planted the seed, but that's it. That's like me taking a shovel and putting some seeds in the ground, putting some dirt in somebody else's yard. Yeah, I may have planted the seed, but I don't own the tree because it ain't on my property. So I'm just saying, you might want to We might want to think about that. And church is a start, but you determine your finish. I appreciate that. He's absolutely right. And it always starts with the man. It really does. And until we as black males take some, not only responsibility for our kids, but for the other men and ladies, y'all may not believe this. Most men love their kids if you give them a chance to. Let's stop making them only feel like they're worth a dollar. Okay. Most men, if they love their children, and I know women that do it. I know women. If you have a dollar, okay, and they need 99 cents, you'll give them the 99 cents and you'll keep the penny. Most people would do that for their kids. But we have got to figure out a way to get our men to bond with their children, because until you go through the bonding process, they're not yours. Oh, you planted the seed, but they're not yours. They're just not yours. And until you get that bonding thing going on, um, they'll never be yours. I mean, they will never ever be yours until you bond with these kids, and we will start to see a metamorphosis of sorts where we can get control of some of this violence in our streets. And it's not just here in Montgomery; it's happening all over the country. And here's a question, and here's the thing I want to know that I'm going to go. Why does it seem? And I'm only asking the question. Why does it seem that our communities, the black community, is the community where most of the violence and the killing is going on? Why does it seem to be that way? No excuses, but we'll have this conversation later on in the week. I'll be back on Wednesday. And so we need to have some tough conversations, not only in Montgomery, Alabama, but some tough conversations in this country. Or else the governor's new prison, we might as well call it Blackville, because that's all that's going to be in it. At least 80 to 90% of the population of these prisons. They're not building these prisons so people don't put anybody in them. They're building these prisons, and whether they want to or not, because they look at our kids potentially as heathens, and the way some of them act, I can't blame them. I just can't blame them. So I gotta go. I'm just trying to see whether or not this thing is working. You can always, man. Well, how can you? Well, you can text me at the. Actually, you can text me at the 241-9998 if you want to. We'll figure all that out later on. But I'm just checking it out tonight to see whether or not I'm actually showing online the way I want to. Okay, so we'll be get this thing going coming on Wednesday. But I just thought I would chime in and see whether or not, because we have lots of conversations in the city of Montgomery. We have lots of conversations. We have conversations about everything in this country except our children, our young black males. And somebody asked me one day, they said, Kevin, I said, yes. Why do you always talk about black folks? I said, oh, that's an easy one. I'm black. My mother was black. My grandmother was black. My father was black. My sisters and brothers are black. That's an easy one, because there are too many people in this town right here and other towns that put up with ungodly things, inhumane things to get us where we are. Too many people sacrificed. There's too much blood on the land that was laid there by our ancestors to turn around, and now we're laying the blood of our fellow citizens that are black citizens on this land. That's why it upsets me. It putrefies me. It makes me angry every time I hear that some black person shot another one. And I don't want you shooting anybody. But yeah, that's why I talk about us so bad, because we know better. Our parents paid a price that so we didn't have to pay it. And now because of culture. Now we filling up the jails. Why? We can go to school. We can work almost any place we want to work. Almost. We can go as far in education as we want to. It does mean sacrifice. It means getting a job. It means and it means discipline, which is something that you can't hear a public official say today in the public school system. You won't ever hear them say the word discipline. Now, next time you hear a teacher talk, I want you to sit there and listen for a second. They never use the word discipline in public school. Matter of fact, I had a lady one time tell me that it was racist. It was racist to use the word discipline. Yeah, well, what's it called when you look in the jail and almost 70% of all the people in jail are black? What's that called? Mm, okay. So anyway, gotta go. So y'all have a good time. I enjoyed myself here, hanging out with you guys for a couple of minutes here. How long I been on air? How long I been doing this thing? A couple minutes? Well, I don't know how long I've been doing it, but I've been doing it for a minute. So we shall return, hopefully by Wednesday. The good Lord says the same. And you guys hang loose. But men, black men, we need to do better when it comes to our kids, especially our boys. Okay, we need to do better. We just do. It's a tough subject. It's a tough. Well, she won't let me do. Well, she won't. Okay. Well, she may not. She may not. But at some point, your child's gonna know if you tried the best you could, and they'll fight that battle for you. But at some point, they will know if my dad tried, if he made an effort to be my father, not just my dad, but he's already a father. Father is a biological position, but a dad, oh, that's a relationship. That is a relationship with your kids. Okay, I'm just telling you, what are we gonna do? What we need to get it right. Oh, somebody did, somebody did, somebody did, somebody did call my thing here. Let me see if I can get this. Hey, who's this? Hmm. Yeah, I can't hear you, but you. What you say? Well, I can't hear you. You must got a cheap phone. Call me Wednesday. We'll talk more. I'm doing fine. Oh, well, my phone is working again. Okay, that's cool. All right, then. Well, that's all I want. I appreciate the combo check there. But anyway, we as men, we really do need to do a better job with our boys. We just really do. And I realize that the women sometimes look at you like your name is George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and that's all you're worth. Well, you can't let somebody else determine your worth. You're gonna have to do that. And dad, you won't always get it right. You won't always make the right decisions. You won't always you'll probably get a lot wrong. But let me tell you what you will get. You will get the respect of your child who said he was there. May not always made the right decision because I certainly have not, but he was there. Okay, that's all I'm just saying. You might want to do that. Anyway, I gotta go. Appreciate you guys. I guess people can't hear us right here today, so that's good. So let me go and see what's going on in the rest of the world. So y'all hang loose there. I'll just do my test podcast tonight, and we'll get back to this thing on Wednesday, and hopefully we'll have a good time. So have a great day, and remember this: it always is a great day to be alive, even though it's night. But that's okay. It's a good night to be alive too. Good evening. Have a great day. I'll be replaying this later on as soon as I can figure out my stuff here. So have a great day, or a great night, or early morning, whichever part. And if you're in Honolulu, aloha. And if you're in the Philippines, well, I forgot how to say that. Wijambu. I can't forget how to say that. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo, Annyeonghaseyo. Okay. And Germany, Guten Morgen. Okay. And in Spanish, Buenos dias. Well, actually, it's Buenos noches right now. Have a good day.